Every collector, I think, dreams of owning that stamp. Before I bought it, there was a show in New York City, the Collectors Club, I think, put on, right? And I remember I went with my kids, and I'm like, this is the 1 cent Z-Grill. It's just really exciting.
Well, I started with Mr. Gross essentially building his collection in 1993 with the appearance of the Rio Ishikawa sale of United States stamps at Christie's. Mr. Gross asked me, is this an important sale? And I said, absolutely. If you want to build an important United States stamp collection, you need to start here. And it was at that time we decided that he wanted to try to get an example of every U.S. postage stamp issued by the federal government. And it started a 30-year quest, and we didn't get to complete the U.S. collection until 2005. Well, there were several bids at the beginning, but then it was just a battle between me and the back of the room, and then there's this kid bidding in the front of the room, bidding on the stamp.
I thought it was a great connection that my son and I would share forever, that he would bid if we were, ended up buying the stamp. It would be a cool memory that we would share, and I thought collectors would enjoy it too.
Bill Gross was on a cruise, so I wasn't able to contact him during the sale, so he said, use your judgment, but don't lose the stamp. Well, once the price got up to $850,000 hammer, and I'm bidding against a kid, I said, there's something not right here. I didn't know what it was. It was all legitimate, but I used my judgment, I put my hand down. And of course, Mr. Gross was disappointed, not mad at me, but disappointed, and he said, maybe someday we might be able to get a chance at it again. Keeping an eye out for the few stamps we still needed, but the 1 cent Z-Grill was the king, the linchpin to the collection, just hoping it might come up. Bill had the financial wherewithal to buy it, but just having money doesn't help you to complete a collection. You have to take advantage of the once-in-a-generational opportunities. And something happened in 2005, I think it was. Siegel was selling the inverted Jenny plate block. And Bill Gross at that time already owned four airmail blocks of 4. And I was emailing him, I said, by the way, did you notice that the plate block is coming up for sale? But I wrote in the email, I said, but you need another airmail inverted Jenny block of 4, like you need a hole in the head. And I'm typing this out, and I said, wait a minute, I have an idea. What if we buy the inverted Jenny plate block, which people kind of figured we were going to do anyway, and prior to the sale, approached Don Sundman, who had held the 1 cent Z-Grill for a number of years, and suggested a 1-for-1 trade, depending on what the item sold for and so on. And I had to try to persuade Don that he had used the stamp to its fullest extent, and it was now time to move on to something different.
I thought the trade was really an interesting idea and something I hadn't thought of, never would have, I don't think. I was probably unnaturally attached to the stamp, the 1 cent Z-Grill, and I kept telling Charles that Bill's got like all these fantastic stamps. I have one like great stamp. I'm really happy with my stamp. But then when he came and mentioned the plate block, I thought that is, certainly a magnificent item, and it appealed to me, and so I thought we would do it.
I don't remember exactly the timing, but we didn't come to a conclusion for a deal until pretty darn close to the actual auction. So we ended up buying it. Everybody thought, oh, well, there's Charles Shreve buying for Bill Gross, and now he owns the inverted Jenny plate block. But at that time, we had already planned a press conference for a week later announcing that we were going to trade the plate block for the 1 cent Z-Grill 1-up and make it truly one of the most fantastic press conferences ever for stamps.
It was exciting. It was so fun to be part of the trade, and that actual public trade. It was more fun than just us being in an office and exchanging the stamps. I felt kind of emotional. It was hard to put into words, the feeling.
Well, the 1 cent Z-Grill is going to be certainly the highlight of the upcoming sale of the William H. Gross collection, complete collection of United States stamps. It is singularly the most important stamp auction in a generation, maybe 2 generations, where collectors, old and new, can come and buy stamps. But the 1 cent Z-Grill is the highlight of the sale.